Welcome to Allie's Attic Show, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a 21-year-old from Welcome, North Carolina. And I had to ask him his age before I brought him on because you'll I'll tell you all about his songs and his writing style because for 21, he's a very old soul. Please welcome Christian Wray. Hello, Christian.
Hey, Ellie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. It's Friday.
It is, yeah. I'm just having my afternoon coffee.
Ah, I'm getting ready. I don't know if you follow hockey or the NHL. I do.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm Canadian to the core, and
Yeah,
our Winnipeg Jets are in the playoffs, and yeah, so I'm very excited because they're playing tonight. But anyway, that's besides the point. Okay, so you, Christian, I've listened to your songs over and over and over again. I'm going to tell you one of your songs is in my Spotify playlist.
uh,
I did it kind of sneakily, but I have it in there. I also have it in my iTunes because I absolutely love it. Um, so
thank you.
your guitar as well, like holy, can you play the guitar? So tell me your story. Like, how old were you when this all started?
I would say around middle school I picked up the guitar, and when I picked up the guitar, I think sort of the songwriting aspect started to follow. Um, Now I've played piano for a very long time. Um, I guess I was pretty little when I started that, and I've been making up songs. I'd say since I was little as well, but I think in high school is when I kind of started writing my own brand, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Before that it was kind of, uh, derivative songs of my favorite songwriters, are Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen. And after I worked at writing songs enough, I got to sort of my own brand. And I'd say around late high school, after high school, when I recorded my first album, that's when I started to feel like I was writing something that, was sort of a bit more mature. So I felt confident enough to record an album.
Well, it's definitely mature. And it's so funny. I have your bio in front of me and it doesn't say anything about Leonard Cohen. And I've written Leonard Cohen down after I listen to your songs because you remind me of
Yeah,
Leonard Cohen. You remind me of Bob Dylan. You can hear the Beatles in there. Now, your influences are like Stephen Foster, Fiona Apple, and like you said, Bob Dylan, the Beatles, Leonard Cohen. And your guitar stylings are like blues singers, like Reverend Gary Davis, Mississippi John Hurt. Your I your songs are so I can't even they're just calming. If that makes any sense. Like
yeah.
they're just
I
beautiful.
mean, I think, yeah, I think that's true. I mean, there's a place of, I think when I write a lot, there's just kind of a desire for peace. I think just kind of a reflective state. And I think that comes through in a lot of especially my newer songs. I think there's a kind of a tranquil perspective in them.
There is. I mean, and they just draw you in. And then to hear the guitar along with everything else is it's mind blowing. And I can hear a British influence in your songs. Like when I listen to your songs, like it's funny that you're talking about peace and everything, because it kind of takes me back to that era where people were writing peace songs and they wanted peace, and there were flower
Yeah,
children I really get that British. I can't talk today. British influence from your songs, which is
yeah,
really cool because you're from the States. It blew me away. I'm like, is he from the
yeah,
UK?
yeah. I've never really even traveled out of the south of the United States really, so I'm not well traveled at all. But I do listen to a lot of different music. So
Yeah, you can hear it. Now, like where do you get your ideas for your songs?
um, I think normally uh, just from sort of grabbing the guitar and singing something, maybe just a phrase or maybe just a melody. Um, I tend to just kind of wait for them. I don't really force myself to write them.
Hmm.
Um, so something like that, or a lot of times, uh, reading uh, poetry. I don't read a whole lot of poetry, but I really like T.S. Eliot. And whenever I'm stuck, with maybe a line. I'll just start with either a line from a poem, or maybe just a line from a nursery rhyme or something like that, just to get my thoughts going. Um, so it's kind of just I just look for one spark and then just kind of run with it.
Wow. Well, they're incredible sparks. I'm just saying. Okay, so where are you going from here? Like, what are your
Well, actually,
dreams?
right now I'm next year I'll be attending School of the Arts here in North Carolina for music composition. And so what I hope to do is sort of uh, take what I do with my playing and my songwriting and kind of expand it with I right now most of the writing that I do I'd say is uh, for things like string quartet, wind quintet, uh, small chamber music, and I'd like to sort of expand my sound with more classical uh, sort of forms and kind of merge those two.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Have you ever been to Nashville Songwriters Row?
I have not.
Okay, you should go. And
What's it
everybody,
called?
pardon?
Is it Nashville Songwriters? What?
It's called Songwriting Row, I think, or Songwriters.
Okay.
It's something like that. But the reason I say it is everybody, as soon as I say Nashville, everybody's thinking, oh, country music, and it's not. It's all
Yeah. No.
types of
Yeah.
music. Yeah, and you get together with writers, and you all write together, and it's just I think it's cool that they do that. So I just thought I'd mention it. I didn't know if you'd been or not because your songs are incredible. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. And I like what it says in your bio because it kind of it captures what you are. You maintain your own voice. Like when you hear you know it's you. There's no question about it. And it's
Yeah.
irreverent and serious all at once with an see, I can't talk. Apocalyptic vision. Thank
Yeah.
God it's Friday. And that totally describes your songs and how you write. And I like that even though it does have that kind of old school peace and all that 60s music and the British influence. Oh, this is going to be a great day. Anyways, I like that it's also current. Like you managed to meld the two together.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that. Yeah. I guess that's something I don't even really think about when I write. But yeah. I mean I thank you.
You're welcome. I mean every word. Now, because you've been doing this for a while, and I'm serious, like when people hear your songs, if they haven't, and I know a lot of people have, but when I put it up on my website and I start broadcasting it everywhere and people take a listen, I think they're going to be as blown away as I am, especially because you're 21 years old. And because you have that wisdom and maturity in you, what kind of advice would you give, like either an artist starting out or an artist that's already out there? Like, what would you say to them, Christian?
I guess if I was gonna give advice for a songwriter, I would tell them that you know when you start, you just have to work through writing hundreds of songs that are not anything good until you get to that place where you can start writing something. I mean, because you think about songwriters like Dylan and Leonard Cohen. Well, every songwriter has written for every good one song there's 100 songs that are just frankly bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to keep that in perspective, I think. Uh, and I would also say to just sort of let yourself kind of find your voice. Um, when you start out, it's very much you're doing an imitation, and I think that's okay. But I think just kind of let yourself find your own voice eventually. So that's just sort of would be what I would tell myself, my younger self, starting out songwriting. So hopefully that would help, other
Ye-
songwriters out there.
Definitely. That's good advice. That is very good advice. And I think too, there's maybe people that think just because you're, out there and you're singing and you're songwriting that, you're making it. And we all know that with the indie music In the indie music scene, it's not always the case, and a lot of people
No, it's not.
no at all. And a lot of people are working full time, plus they're doing their music on the side, and it's hard work. And I think being able to understand that, yeah, you're gonna write like 1,000 songs, and there's only gonna be one that you're actually gonna put on your EP, or one that you're gonna put out on whatever platform you put it on. But that one song could be the one song. So yeah, never give up. Never give up
Yeah.
on anything,
Yeah.
any of your passions. So what two
Right.
songs are we gonna hear from you?
So we're going to hear two from my latest album. One is called Vincent Van Gogh Self Portrait, 1887, long title, and the other is called Ashes and Embers.
Now, where did you like? What are the songs about?
Okay, so Vincent, the title is literally just the title of the painting, the self portrait he did in 1887.
Hmm.
And so I wrote this song very quickly, just looking at the portrait because I wanted inspiration, and I just stumbled across the painting, and I just sort of wrote the song right there. And so the other one is kind of the opposite. The other one, Ashes and Embers, was sort of written a little more slowly. It was, a little more thoughtful. Um, so these are kind of polar ideas, but I think they complement each other well.
They do. I'm gonna tell Ashes and Embers is what I've added to my list. I'm in love with that
Yes.
song. I am absolutely in love with that song. I can just close my eyes and just sway. If and people who love music are going to know exactly what I mean by that because it just moves me.
Yeah.
Don't ever stop what you're doing. Ever. Please don't ever
I
stop.
won't.
And anything new happens, you're more than welcome to come back on the show. You have new songs you want me to help promote. I will do whatever I can for you. And you can find Christian songs on like online. You can purchase them online, as well as his Facebook. He's really, really active on his Facebook, and it's his music page, as well as Instagram and his YouTube channel. So I urge everybody to go out and discover more of Christian because I can see you like if somebody doesn't discover you, I'm going to be just so upset. I'm just saying. Because you need to be, and your type of music needs to be on the radio. And the reason being is because it is thoughtful and it's thought provoking and it takes you to a place and it transports you, and that's what music's supposed to do. And it's not, cookie cutter versions like on the radio right now, and nothing against the artist. It's just what their music labels are telling them that they have to do. So I really hope that one day I'm turning the radio on and I'm hearing you, Christian, because I think that you've got what it takes. So I want to say thank you so much for taking time out to come on my show. I hope to hear from you even more and more songs. And have a great weekend.
Well, thank you, Ellie. It was definitely a pleasure, and I appreciate all your kind words, and I appreciate you supporting my music.
Oh, thank you. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic Show. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.